In 1938, Europe held its breath. Hitler's ambitions were clear, targeting Czechoslovakia, but instead of standing firm, Britain and France chose appeasement, a gamble for peace that ultimately unleashed the greatest conflict in history. But what if they hadn't? And let's find the answer to the question, what if? Imagine 1938, but with a stark difference. Instead of appeasement, Britain and France stand firm against Hitler's aggression, unequivocally declaring their support for Czechoslovakia. This unwavering resolve transforms the unfolding crisis. Czechoslovakia, historically abandoned, now stands defiantly, fully backed by its powerful allies. Its formidable border fortifications and one of Europe's strongest, well-equipped armies are strategically poised to defend the Sudetenland territories against any German incursion. Crucially, Germany in 1938 was far from ready for a full-scale multi-front war. Its rearmament program remained incomplete, and its top military leaders harbored serious doubts about their army's capacity to simultaneously overcome robust Czech defenses and face France in the West. This immediate and unified Anglo-French-Czech front would profoundly amplify the existing internal opposition within the German military. Generals already deeply concerned about Hitler's recklessness and secretly plotting a coup would find their cause significantly strengthened by such a powerful, united opposition. A firm stand against Hitler in 1938 would immediately call his bluff. Faced with a united Anglo-French-Czech opposition, he would either order an invasion and encounter overwhelming resistance, or be forced to back down. If he chose war, immediate military setbacks in Czechoslovakia, coupled with a swift French advance into the Rhineland, would trigger the German general's plot, potentially leading to Hitler's early removal or assassination. Alternatively, if he backed down without war, his prestige would suffer an irreparable blow within Germany. Such public humiliation would erode his support, empowering internal rivals and sparking a political crisis that could force his resignation or even a coup, significantly altering the National Socialist regime's trajectory. A resolute stand in 1938 would have profoundly reshaped the European landscape. Czechoslovakia, with its borders secure and its democratic sovereignty affirmed, would remain a formidable industrial powerhouse. This intact nation could then become the crucial cornerstone of a powerful anti-German alliance, solidifying Central European resistance. While the Anschluss of Austria had already occurred, a contained or deposed Hitler would likely face immense pressure to either reverse it entirely or, at the very least, halt any further German expansion, thereby severely curtailing the dangerous dream of Greater Germany. Critically, without the perceived weakness of Britain and France, smaller nations like Poland, Hungary, and Romania would undoubtedly align more firmly with the Western democracies. This pivotal shift would prevent the very conditions that led to the infamous Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, thereby radically altering or even entirely eliminating the devastating Eastern Front of World War II. The continent's political map and power dynamics would be fundamentally transformed. A firm stand against Hitler in 1938 would send significant ripples across the globe, fundamentally altering key geopolitical dynamics. The Soviet Union's role would be dramatically reshaped. With Hitler contained or removed, Stalin might never pursue the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, potentially averting the horrific German invasion of the USSR and countless casualties. Furthermore, Japan's aggressive ambitions in Asia and the Pacific would likely be reined in. Without a prolonged European conflict creating a strategic distraction, Japan would lack the opportune window it exploited historically, significantly altering its expansionist trajectory. Finally, the United States' path would diverge markedly. Without the catalyst of a full-scale European war and the attack on Pearl Harbor, American isolationism might persist longer, or its entry into global affairs would unfold under entirely different, less catastrophic circumstances. A world spared the devastation of World War II would present a radically different human story. Most significantly, the systematic extermination of 6 million Jews and millions of others, the Holocaust, would likely be prevented or drastically diminished, sparing unfathomable suffering. The genocidal machinery of the Nazi regime might never unleash its full horrific potential. Moreover, many critical technologies, from jet engines and rocketry to atomic weapons and early computing, were rapidly developed under the immense pressure of global war. Without that specific urgency, their progression might have been slower or followed entirely different paths, with various nations leading innovations driven by different needs. Finally, the entire post-war order would be unrecognizable. The Cold War, the division of Germany, the rise of the United Nations as we know it, decolonization's specific timeline, and the very concept of superpowers were all shaped by World War II. A world without that conflict would forge a profoundly different international system, potentially more multilateral, less bipolar, or simply an entirely new framework. Non-appeasement in 1938 could have led to Hitler's earlier fall or a limited conflict, potentially averting World War II and the Holocaust. In your opinion, what if Britain and France had not appeased Hitler in 1938? Share your thoughts in the comments.